Hi, this is ticklemyiguana. Welcome to DE Pit version 2. In this video, I'll be covering updates from version 1 to version 2. If you'd like to see version 1 and what this map basically is, you are encouraged to simply click the link in the description, which will be the video introduction to version 1 and DE Pit as a whole. This video is specifically for people who have already seen that, so if you haven't, go into that and then come back here and then see the updates as they are presented in this video. On the screen, actually within the scope of this frame, there are there are 7 significant updates to the map just on defensive side. They're pretty subtle, with the exception at least of the grav lifts, which are added in here. There used to only be 1 here, now there are 3. And the shotgun, that is right over here. This shotgun used to be over here, and that was really an oversight that I left it there. I really wanted people to be able to pick it up and run straight over to B site. It's pretty self-explanatory why it was moved from there, because this is not conducive to getting over to B site. And the offensive team already spawns in shotgun room with a shotgun. It didn't make sense. That's why it's there. This is also pretty self-explanatory. It enables people to kind of flank up into this zone here. This zone is very powerful for holding down A site over here, so I added that to allow more options for people to get up there when they're being challenged from somebody here. On the same token, these have been added here to prevent people from camping in this area, which means that anybody who's taking fire from over here can run into here and have half a second of a breather before they run into here and encounter anybody else who is potentially camping, as opposed to somebody sitting here and basically just mailing them as soon as they run around the corner. And that is why that's there. Thus far, all attempts to dislodge all of these things with grenades have failed, so I feel it's pretty secure, but if you happen to be able to dislodge this with only a couple of grenades, please let me know, and I will attempt to make that more secure. Further changes. We have moved the plant site from here to there. I will cover that at the same point in time that I cover why this crab lift is here. And we have this, and we have this. Now both of these are here for the same reason, and that is because in version 1 we were playing with 100% gravity. In version 2 we're playing with 150% gravity. Now let me cover that really quickly. The reason we're playing with higher gravity here is actually to encourage more vertical gameplay. That sounds counterintuitive until you really think about it, and that is because Halo is a very floaty game. Halo is, if you are playing with no shields and you're kind of floating around at normal gravity, it becomes very easy for people to shoot you in the head and you die, and it discourages people from actually jumping around. So by actually raising the gravity and lowering the jump height, it is basically giving you some safer jumps. Now, you might encounter some inconveniences like this taking a bit more precise timing to get up, but you'll get used to it and it works all the same. That is why this is here. It enables basically you to get up here and have a buddy here and then jump on his head and jump up, the same as you could do without it, or basically with the shotgun, jump up and pop people as they try and plant that bomb. This used to be a green crate. You can no longer jump on green crates with 150% gravity, and you can basically just run right up this ramp, and that is fine. So, moving on to the final changes on A site, the grav lift and this right here. They're both there for the same reason, and that reason is the flamethrower. Now, the flamethrowers come into a little bit of criticism here in DE Pit, and I'm open to that. But I still stand by the contention that it is a very powerful weapon, and it is very useful. And I have not seen it utilized very much. And both of these changes are to encourage the utilization of that flamethrower. It is primarily a defensive weapon, and without this grav lift, it takes about 13 seconds to get here. Whereas for the offensive team, it takes about 7 seconds, meaning that the risk becomes very significant for a defensive team that wants to grab that flamethrower. So that grav lift is there, that kind of bypasses running around that way, or running up this ramp and jumping up here and going that way. It allows you to just jump from here to there and move forward. You actually wind up here at about the exact same time as the offensive team, albeit maybe 0.5 seconds later, but that's not enough for somebody to successfully grab that and retreat with it. It's actually enough for somebody to come here, you to jump through, and you to melee them in the back because they're facing this. So, let's go over to A site and explain what the movement of the bomb plant site has to do with anything at all. It has to do with this. This is a very strong weapon, and I want to encourage its use over on A site just as much as it is used on B site. You're able to block things off here as people try and jump up, and anybody who runs through it dies. There's no shield, and there's damage over time on the flamethrower, and basically anybody who touches the fire as they run through it will wind up dying. Doesn't mean you won't die with them as they shoot you and attempt to kill you, but they will, in all likelihood, die. So this is here, this is moved because you can't move the flamethrower down beyond this point. And that kind of sucks, but it's okay, because you can still do this. You can still pump this area full of flames and prevent people from planting. Now, you might notice you're pretty exposed right here. You don't really want to be doing this. So, I found that you can get right back behind this wall, keep yourself kind of not exposed from there. Maybe your hands are, maybe your gun is, but your head certainly isn't. And basically just jump up and do the same thing. Now, granted, you can do exactly that and occasionally fuck up, and that's more of an issue of just the timing of it. You want to release it before you're hitting the ground, and you can do this just fine if you get the timing right. If you hold it too late, you'll wind up lighting yourself on fire a little bit, and you could die as a result. So that covers all the differences on A site. That's pretty much it. So let's go to B site. There are a few differences here, although actually one of them is pretty significant. Actually, both of them are pretty significant, with the exception of this here, which is really just to encourage the same level of buddy system with 150% gravity. So you might notice that there used to be a barrel here. There is no longer a barrel here. I'm sorry, it is 12:30 in the morning right now, and my tongue is fried. But now this allows for somebody on the sniper tower to basically take pot shots at people who are jumping up using the buddy system, using that region over there. Previously, it was extremely safe for people to run over there and use that buddy system and get up in here, and basically force it so that the first and perhaps only engagement that they have to come into comes right about here. If people are playing really conservatively over in B site, this is basically where the first engagement happens for anybody using the buddy system here, because they aren't getting shot at over here, and the bridge prevents them from being shot at from over there, which is actually intentional. If you remove all that stuff, it becomes a little easier to do. But this barrel has been removed to allow the defending team a little bit more versatility in stopping that kind of push. The third and final change to B site is the addition of these teleporters. They just go right from one to the other. That's it. There's nothing special about them other than the fact that they shave off about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's probably not accurate at all, and I think I started at 1 over there, so let's say conservatively 4 seconds. They save off about 4 seconds, which actually by my timings is about right, because previously you'd get to this point at about 13 seconds. Right now you get here at about 9 seconds. Being at this point early allows you to put pressure on anybody pushing up over here, and put pressure on anybody using the buddy system over here. It also allows you to take a couple pot shots at people over here, and allows you to pick up these incendiary grenades, which are also an addition, another addition as well. These are the only grenades on the map, and they're very viable in basically preventing plants. You can throw them down and take off about 3 or 4 seconds of plant time that anybody might be there for. So that covers all the differences in this zone. I think there's only one final difference, with the exception of this needler that's here. There used to be an assault rifle. There's 150% damage resistance, and the assault rifle wasn't doing enough. The needler does a little bit more. It explodes after a couple seconds, so that's there as an automatic weapon. I think the only other real change is the addition of this crate here. Again, I've pointed out time and time again, this is a very powerful position to defend A site, and actually this whole region, as well as some of the stuff over here. So this crate is kind of there to lessen the effectiveness of this area up here. It just gives you a little bit more of a cover option just to be right here, and well, it's a cover option. That's all. So that covers all the changes. This is that have been made to DE Pit since version 1. I hope you like it. I hope to see you playing it soon, and I'll see you soon. See ya.